Hello, I'm Andrew Dyer, and welcome to this special edition of the Roundball Report, the only show in the area dedicated to highlighting the exploits of the high school, college, and professional basketball teams which play in the Washington metropolitan area. And here with me again is my co-host, Coach Nikki Lewis. Nikki, welcome back. We got another special treat tonight.
Yes, so excited. Yes. Let's get right to it.
As we count down to our 1,000th show, we have two of our proud former Roundball Report alumni, two-time Emmy winner from CBS Sports, Rachel McNair, is with us, along with future ESPY and Emmy. If you work for ESPN, you can't win an ESPY. Future Emmy winner, Monica McNutt of ESPN, ACT Network, MSG. Anybody I'm leaving out?
Wherever
there's a couple, but it's fine.
Wherever sports happens, Monica McNutt is there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Welcome, ladies. We are so proud of both of you, and thank you for sharing a bit of your time. So Rachel, talk about, do you remember your time on the Roundball Report?
Oh my gosh. The Roundball Report is where it all started for me. Going back to working with Ed and going in the locker rooms and covering Wnba and covering the NBA. I just loved it. You guys gave me an opportunity to really kind of get my career off to start when no one really gave me a chance. So this was really an opportunity for me to grow, learn, and have access to, the locker room, players, and everything in terms of trying to get to know how I can get better, but also get my analysis down and learn from the people around me. Right.
And Monty, you had two bits with us. It was so funny because your dad and my brother are lifelong friends. So when you were referred to me by Christy, you were going through this long introduction. I was like, girl, I've known you since you were born.
I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Rachel. The Roundball Report is basically an institution in the DMV area for anybody that wants to cover basketball at a high level. It's so crazy, Mr. Andrew and Nikki, because I think back to how excited we were to do shows and to go out with Ed, like Rachel said, and we were all just hustling and cutting our teeth and getting our reps. I think Brandon Baylor actually posted a picture last month of all of us sitting on set, and so many of us have gone on to do really cool things. And so as I'm mentoring young people now, I'm like, everybody needs to find a Roundball Report because it's a place to get the reps and make the connections and really kind of cut your teeth. So that second stint in particular for me, after being humbled by the business, was so important too, because it still reminded me why I do this. It's about the people and the passion and the opportunity to tell cool stories. And that reel that I made the second time around was the one that got a little bit of traction to get us where we're going now. So it has definitely been a huge part of my journey and my story, and I'm very proud of that.
And I'm so proud of you because, like you said, you had thought about leaving it, and I was like, no, don't give up. You're still single. Your parents are still thanking you for not having to pay for college. And you talked to me, you said that they said that the hosting part on camera was some of the things you did, so you wanted to host a few shows. Let you get it coincided with some challenges. We gave you some great reps, and it did help you, like you said, to refine your craft. And now, and you've done it your way. That's what I'm so proud of, and I'm sure that has to make you especially proud too.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally having this conversation today. A young woman asked me what advice I would give minority women in particular coming up in the business. Do your homework, know your reps, you got to know your stuff. Be abreast of what's going on in the sports that you cover, but also you have to show up as you. I think the way that we have a conversation around diversity, I think in our mind, we see these diverse candidates sitting across from a panel of all white men. And the reality of that is that both sides need diversity badly. Not just the person asking for an opportunity, but the people that are trying to provide an opportunity, if they are sincere about the diversity and inclusion that we all are hoping to have. But Mr. A, it's funny you brought up that conversation because I really was ready to walk away. And I think the Roundball Report for me, not only was it a foundation, but it also was a watering ground after we had a little bit of a sprout, but we was having some growth spurt issues. And so man, now that I'm thinking back on all of it, I'm so thankful. It's so crazy though. Now people are like, "Oh, you're good with no prompter. Like, you don't need a prompter." I'm like, I started with no prompter. Prompters are a luxury. Like,
What is that?
right.
Right.
I memorized the whole open and close. What do you mean?
Right. Yeah, because I'm sure you found out the higher up you go, the easier it is for you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ladies, now I'm going to put your analyst hats on. Monica, you've been getting a lot of love on First Take and ESPN for, like you said, being you, going against the grain, not just picking, trying to fit with all the quote unquote experts. You picked Ja Morant and Memphis to beat Golden State in the play-in game, and Ja gave you a shout out. Rachel was telling me you picked the WNBA All-Stars to beat Team USA last night, among other predictions. Who did you pick for the finals?
So I had Phoenix in 7. And it's so crazy, y'all. That Memphis Grizzlies pick has put so much pressure on my pick.
Because now everyone wants you to be yes.
Right. Like,
Everyone wants to pick.
And you got the betting public, I'm sorry, is probably following
Yes.
Yeah.
No, fact.
Yes.
It's so much pressure. But Memphis,
You're like, who does Monica have?
Yeah. It's been crazy.
Well, Rachel, you went on to win 2 Emmys as a producer, but you decided to leave the field not so long ago. So tell the viewers about that. What led to that decision?
So yeah, I was blessed to work for CBS Sports and win 2 Emmys, and I worked there for 3.5 years. Going the producer route and kind of, working as a graphics producer specifically on live sports events. I really enjoyed it, but I also have a passion for helping people. So I shifted gears, moved to Florida, West Palm Beach, where Monica's old stomping grounds. But I'm working currently at a health insurance company. They cater to lower income communities. And my job is I'm a community programs and communications coordinator. So I'm working in the community, working on marketing campaigns and working to really help people become aware of the access that they have through Medicaid, and help people that look like me. That's what it's about. Us Black people, we need to know what we have access to with, being in a pandemic still, like it's just extra important.
Right. Well, Rachel, I said that you're both helping people. You're helping people health-wise, and Monica's helping people with her picks.
Yes, she is.
Well, Monica, let's go to your other pick. Last night, the WNBA All-Stars were victorious over Team USA. And we were talking before you got on that Arike Wnba, is there a reason why she's not on Team USA?
She just didn't make the cut. And I think if you look at Team USA, whose spot would she have taken at that guard spot? And I don't have the whole roster in front of me, but.
Well, what about, I was saying DC's own Ariel Atkins, but Ariel is a two-way player.
Ariel is a much better two-way player. But who else? I think I'd have to, Coach Carolyn Peck had a great breakdown of this when we did our WNBA on ABC broadcast last weekend, because she kind of really silenced all the noise surrounding Nneka Ogwumike's snub as well. I think you got to understand what Coach Staley and her staff is looking for at various positions, and defense is paramount. And that's not necessarily Arike's signature. She has plenty of time. She will be an Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it was classy of her. She wanted to prove a point, but she said they're playing for us too. And after she got the MVP award, and she told them to go get the gold medal.
Absolutely.
So what's been your thoughts on the early first half of the WNBA season, that Seattle was ahead of Las Vegas, but the Mystics are potentially going to get Deladon and Mieseman back, along with I forget the young lady from Louisville is going to come back healthy. So they could be Hines Allen, Maisha Hines Allen.
Yeah, Maisha.
Who had a breakout year last year. So they could actually make a late season run.
It's certainly possible. I think a lot of teams will have an opportunity to get healthy. You knock on all the wood that your Olympians come back healthy and ready to play ball. To me, the surprise, and I guess it shouldn't really be a surprise, they were in the finals a season ago, the Connecticut Sun. I've loved rooting for JJ and Jonquel Jones. Brianna Jones out of University of Maryland is emerging as a most improved candidate, a very strong most improved candidate. Jasmine Thomas, local DMV point guard out of Oakton High School. So I'm loving what this Connecticut Sun squad is bringing.
Now, Rachel, I promised that I would be a good point guard for you. What's been your thought? Let's keep it simple. Have you been following NBA Finals?
You think it's funny money? I say Suns in 6. Okay, I said that from the beginning. I say Suns in 6. So whatever, Monica, you say 7, I'm saying 6. And I want the Suns to win because I feel like Monty Williams and Chris Paul, they just deserve it. They deserve it. Chris Paul has been a long time coming.
Yeah, at the end of last night, that old Chris Paul showed up. That scared me for a second.
That late turnover.
Cliff Paul.
Late crucial.
Cliff Paul.
Yeah. I know. I was like, come on.
Yeah. State Farm needs to sub him out. Well, ladies, we're going to go to a quick break right now. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk about the upcoming Olympics and what Monica's going to be doing there, and the devastating news that Bradley Beal is going to have to miss the Olympic thing and COVID protocol with Rachel McNair and Monica McNutt. So stay with us.
There.
No, yeah, I don't even know if they've ever closed. I mean, it's bad to say, so I don't think if they ever closed. Everyone knows no one's wearing any masks out here. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think it depends on the state because, you know, that's what I do every day with the CDC, with the job that I do during the day. And it differs by state now. A lot of states are still doing contact tracing because you have this new Delta variant. So it really just depends on where you are. So I'm sure they're probably doing contact tracing in Tokyo because of the lockdowns that they're all going under now. And
I was really referring to what they're doing with TeamUSA in Vegas. If 2 guys caught it, right. How are they going to monitor? Because Bill played 30 minutes in that game the other night.
Yeah, I imagine so. Then they have to go back to contract tracing.
Yeah, they have to, because they have to figure out where he got it from. And that's the only way you can stop or slow the spread, is to figure out where is it coming from, and then they, with the contact tracing, they also revisit their protocols as well.
Right. And TeamUSA, like you said, they had limited practice, but it'll be interesting who they pick, because my son was talking about, I said, well, Drew Holiday, Middleton, and Devin Booker will be joining the team. And he said they're really going to make that bit bigger difference. I said, well, they don't have a point guard right now. They've got Draymond playing the point because what's the guy? Portland Trailblazers. Dame Lillard is a 2 guard in the point guard's body, and they really and that, if one thing the foreign teams do have is a lot of quick, small NBA guards.
It's going to be a really interesting matchup. I also was reading a really good piece the other day talking about, we interviewed. Not Nancy Lieberman. She was on my podcast. We interviewed Ann Myers the other day, and she obviously was the first high schooler to be named to the Olympic team back in, I believe, the 76 Olympics. Well, in 76, she was in college already. But she was talking about the officiating in the international game and how that comes to play. And she's obviously been a part of NBC's coverages since 2008. And she was talking about a conversation she had with Tim Duncan in particular, who was having a tremendous year in the NBA, but he really struggled with foul trouble over the course of the Olympic run because of how the game is officiated. So I think Drew Holiday stands to make a bit of a difference, a big difference actually. And then of course, if 40-point Chris Middleton shows up and 42-point Devin Booker, difference made. Yes.
Exactly.
So are you interested in the makeup of the roster? They've got Bam Adebayo and Kevin Love, and I guess if you want to count Kevin Durant, a 7'2" guard, as their only bigs.
I mean, they're mobile bigs, so they'll be all right.
So, Monica, what are you most looking forward to about this Olympic experience?
Completing it. We have to get on Tokyo time while I'm still in the US, and it's gonna be fun. How unique is it to put the Olympics on your roster and to consume basketball at this level? But it's gonna be a little bit of a gauntlet too. Like it is certainly a feather in my cap, a check off of the bucket list in terms of career opportunities, and hopefully it puts me in the mix to be able to do it in person the next time around, possibly.
Well, ladies, so excited about that, and one thing that there was a lot of talk. There were at least 7 NBA coaching opportunities, and there was a lot of talk at the beginning that Becky Hammond or one of the other females, Witherspoon or Kara Lawson, were going to get a shot at becoming the first female head coach. But Willie Green is supposed to get the New Orleans one. They're talking, and they're only talking about men for the Wizards opening with Wes Unseld Jr. and Darvin Ham being the favorites. Do you think what's your thought about that? Are you disappointed that even though we have some women executives, that they really haven't gotten a true look at a chance to get one of these head coaching jobs?
I think this is a nice conversation, but in reality, we're not that close. So I don't really have a reaction to it, honestly. I think we have these months where we celebrate diversity or weeks or whatever, and these people get pushed to the forefront. And while that is awesome, I think it confuses us to believe that we're traveling at 80 miles per hour in terms of this idea of progress, and we're still moving at school zone pace, right? Like 12 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not surprised. I think that I still think we're about 5 years away from this happening sincerely, at least at the head coaching level. And I think it's going to require players putting their weight behind a candidate. It's similar to what you hear Nicole Lenz talk about as she began her career as an NFL agent. When she signed, I'm blanking on his name, but the guy that was going to go top 10 to the Jets, he put his weight behind her. And so he helped her launch her career, and we look and see where she is now. So it's going to take some athletes putting their weight behind a candidate. So I don't really have much of a reaction to this.
What about your thought, Rachel? I mean, if any diversity is happening, it's a 80% majority African-American league, with the exception of Rick Carlisle. All of the coaching openings have gone to minority candidates, African-American males.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's about time. I feel like, a bunch of other coaches mess up, and I feel like Black coaches should get a lot more opportunity. In terms of what Monica mentioned about women possibly getting, a chance, I think it's going to take some time as well, because I feel like we get so close and then there's always something else that happens or things get pushed back.
Now, Monica, I had hoped that Chauncey Billups would get the Wizards job, but he took the Portland job. But then after that happened, I picked about 4 weeks ago that it was going to be Wes Unseld Jr. Just basically, not that he's not qualified, but it's kind of like the nature of the way the Bullets/Wizards franchise has been run through over the years, almost like a mom and pop, with few exceptions. Do you if you were Wes Unseld Jr., would you take that job given the potential talk of nepotism, even though he has a qualified resume?
Yes. I don't think that how do I put this eloquently? If you have a privilege, use it. Mm-hmm. I think you got to be careful weaponizing it. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to evaluate where you are in terms of understanding, let me make room and make way for others that may not have this opportunity. But it is tremendously hard to get an NBA coaching opportunity. If nepotism bounced his way and helps him get in the door, okay, now prove that you belong in the door. So I wouldn't turn it down for that reason, no. I would understand that those are rumors and the whispers. I would compartmentalize it and put it in its right place and get to work.
Right. And Nikki, what's your thought?
I agree with Monica. I mean, if it's there for you and it's going to open the door for you, walk through that door, but make sure that you're showing them that you deserve to be there. So step up and be a great coach. If not, then don't do it. Then don't let nepotism be your opening in your way in. And like I said, I agree with Monica. Get in there and make it your job and show people that you can handle this job and you deserve to be there. Name or no name, you deserve it.
Speaking of names, do you think that where the Wizards stand with Bradley Beal's contract, do you think that it would be wise for them to include him before they make a final decision to get his thoughts process on it, Monica?
Yeah. I mean, if that's your guy, you believe he's going to be the cornerstone moving forward, then give him that respect.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And Rachel, again, so you got 2 Emmys as a producer and now go into the healthcare industry and to help people and following your passion, following your greater calling, you've got to be commended for that. And Monica, especially you, for sticking through it. You made it. You made it. The station shut down. Then you had to humble yourself, come back and do it again. And this time you made it. And this time I have a feeling it's going to be for good.
I certainly hope so, Mr. A. From your lips to God's ears.
Or you've been manifesting it.
Honey,
Manifesting it this whole time.
And
Yeah.
Rachel has been one of my biggest cheerleaders, one of my dearest friends. I mean, there's such a tremendous appreciation for literally y'all that have been with me shooting in the gym, to use that phrase, because you guys know. And so I am so proud that when I pull up, y'all know it's the same mom from the Roundball Report, just a little bit more polished and a bigger platform.
Right. And it's interesting because you said to be yourself. You're very gifted, very articulate. You used to talk 1,000 miles an hour. Now you talk 990 miles an hour and still getting
Getting those reps. Getting those reps.
Yeah. So Monica, you said I didn't get all of your credentials right. Well, we got a few 30 seconds left. Tell the folks where else they can see you.
Oh man. So I'm actually working on a really cool project with CBS Sports Network. When college basketball resumes, I believe I'll still be in the mix with Fox Sports 1. So just those two. And then of course, I'm spending some time on ESPN Radio. Right now I'm calling the finals. I'm doing the pregame, halftime, and the postgame show wraps around the finals, having a really great opportunity to learn and listen to John Barry, Doris Burke, and Mark Keshisher, and Coach PJ Carlissimo is in the pre and post studio with us, hosted by Kevin Winter. So it's been a really great learning experience.
Well, it's been a great opportunity for me to play some small role in each of you ladies getting a chance to pursue your career dreams. I started the Roundball Report back in 1996 when you ladies, I think you were around, but not by much. I know you were, Monica, because you're the same age as my oldest son. But I couldn't be more proud of you, and I think the fact that you both did it your way. You weren't scared of hard work, and I think that basketball background makes a difference because all of you are used to having to compete for what you get.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Mr. A. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you to the whole Roundball Report team, and we continue onward and upward.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Great job. Congratulations.
You guys.
Thank you, guys.
Great job, ladies. We're so proud of both of you. Rachel, I know you're going to do great in your new endeavor. And Monica, we wish you the best of luck covering the Olympics. Well, that's going to do it for the special edition. I know you enjoyed it. It was informative and action-packed. And you can look forward for more discussion of the WNBA playoffs, NBA playoffs, NBA finals, special features, and interviews with the players and coaches from the high school, college, and professional basketball teams which play in the Washington metropolitan area in future shows.
And remember, if it's on the court, we are definitely around the ball. And to all you aspiring athletes out there, remember to put your grades first to make your hoop dreams come true. I'm Nikki Lewis.
And I'm Andrew Dyer for the Roundball Report. Good night.